أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والضحى والليل إذا سجى ما ودعك ربك وما قلى وللآخرة خير لك من الأولى ولسوف يؤتيك ما ربك فترضى ألم يجدك يتيما فآوى ووجدك ضالا فهدى ووجدك عائلا فأغنى فأما اليتيم فلا تقهر وأما السائل فلا تنحر وأما بنعمة ربك فحدث صدق الله العلي العظيم.
सलवात। हर एक दिल में करबला बसा दिया हुसैन ने, हर एक दिल में करबला बसा दिया हुसैन ने। नजर न आता था खुदा दिखा दिया हुसैन ने, हर एक दिल में करबला बसा दिया हुसैन ने। वो नूर है तू खाक है, बशर तेरी बसात क्या। वो नूर है तो खाक है, बशर तेरी बसात क्या। बना के खाक को शिफा बना दिया हुसैन ने, हर एक दिल में करबला बसा दिया हुसैन ने। अली का ये भी शेर है, वो तीर से डरेगा क्या। अली का ये भी शेर है, वो तीर से डरेगा क्या। पिसर को हाथ पे उठा हंसा दिया हुसैन ने, हर एक दिल में करबला बसा दिया हुसैन ने। चलो
मोहम्मद व आल मोहम्मद सलवात। वो फातिमा ज़हरा का घर भर को बुलाना, वो फातिमा ज़हरा का घर भर को बुलाना। और सबको शहादत की खबर हाय सुनाना। वो फातिमा ज़हरा का घर भर को बुलाना। जाती हूँ मैं वाली, मुझे बाबा है बुलाते। जाती हूँ मैं वाली, मुझे बाबा है बुलाते। बच्चों को मेरे बाद तुम ही नाज उठाना। वो फातिमा ज़हरा का घर भर को बुलाना। सर सब्ज बदन होगा, पाओगे ज़हर तुम। सर ज़ख्म बदन होगा, पाओगे ज़हर तुम। कट कट के कलेजे को लगन में है गिराना। वो फातिमा ज़हरा का घर भर को बुलाना। बेटों को फिदा करके घर बार लुटा के। बेटों को फिदा करके घर बार लुटा के। और आखिरी सजदे के लिए सर को ही झुकाना। वो फातिमा ज़हरा का घर भर को बुलाना। उम्मत है मेरे बाबा की, आसी है खताकार। उम्मत है मेरे बाबा की, आसी है खताकार। बख्शिश के लिए उनकी सर नंगे फिराना। वो फातिमा ज़हरा का घर भर को बुलाना। सरनेज़े पे शबीर मेरे लाल चरेगा। सरनेज़े पे शबीर मेरे लाल चरेगा। बहनों को लिए साथ तुम दरबार में जाना। वो फातिमा ज़हरा का घर भर को बुलाना। और सबको शहादत की खबर आए सुनाना। मोहम्मद वाले मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु।
I'll request Maulana with your loud salawat to start the majlis. For Muhammad wa ali Muhammad salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wa bihi nasta'in wa huwa khairun nasirin wa mu'in. Thumma salatu wa salam wa tahiyyat wal ikram ala sayyidil anam Muhammad wa itratihi at-tahirin. Salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Amma ba'd, faqad qala al-Hakim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Wa wajadaka a'ilan fa'aghna. Salawat, please. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farajahum. I was naturally going to recite my traditional khutbah, but then I cut it short looking at that. We have lost about 1/3 of our attendees already. I know it's a working day, and that is what the topic of the day is, the tests and trials of daily life, especially during this holy month of Ramadan. And honestly, this is the best time throughout the year, as the 8th Imam says, that Islamic calendar should start from Ramadanul Kareem, because Ramadan is the month of self-building. And then expands, yes, it starts with Rajab, then Shabanul Muazzam, and Ramadanul Kareem upwards. So point, our hearts are strongly connected with Allah during this holy month. Without any prelude, I will go directly to my topic, which is Janabi Khadijatul Kubra Salamullahi alayha. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. An exemplary wife, how she went through tests and trials. We extend our condolences to the household of Rasulullah and Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam, especially Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. On this huge loss, in beginning, when Rasulullah was raised as a prophet, it was very hard, beyond one's perception, beyond our comprehension. It was hard for Rasulullah, because the society he was raised among was a very, very ignorant society, stubborn-minded society, rigid people. हम कहते हैं ना, ज़मीन जुम्बद, आसमान जुम्बद, Gul Muhammad na Jumbat. Whatever proofs he brought for them, whatever logic he explained to them, said no, we don't accept it. Astaghfirullah. Then they started adding on, mocking and satire and calling him astaghfirullah, a liar, kadhab, then a magician, and all those titles which Quran Kareem speaks about. Tonight is the night of this great lady. If I can divide her lifespan in 3, it is number 1, pre-Islam era, when there was no Islam yet. This lady is a lady which is a kind of bridge from the era of ignorance throughout Islam. This is the deduction of great ulama, that this lady is one which takes us from the era of ignorance with human excellency, karamat insani. Because in that era, when astaghfirullah, fujur was like open, present everywhere, without a single rash on one's body, it was so accepted. She was so modest, while adding on to her more test, she was the most rich, the richest lady of Quraysh. Her title was Malikatul Arab. You can translate it as Lady of Arabs or the Queen of Arabs, to be simple. So rich, yani access to everything she could have anything she wanted. Every man in Quraysh and non-Quraysh, they were desperately longing to get married to her. So if such a person in that era, with that mindset of the society, so much demoralized the society, where God forbid, just to connect to the modesty of Bibi Khadija salamullahi alayha, women, they used to put a flag on their home, so much low. For adultery, they will put a flag, na'udhu billah. The riffraff, the laws of the society used to go there. In that society, she earned the title due to her modesty of Tahira, pure modest lady. Have a salawat on her. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. And if generosity was to be asked about, people will point towards her house. So she was beyond our words. The books are filled with her fadail and virtues. I will beg all of you, please read the books like Sunanul Kubra. It's a Sunni source book, but very well done work. Speaks about the Sirah Bibi Khadija. As-Siratul Halabiyah, again a Sunni work. And he's a Damashqi, a Syrian historian. Normally, people of Basra, Kufa, they have more affiliation towards Ahle Bayt alayhim wassalam. People of Damashq, they're quite, affiliated towards Bani Umayyah since beginning. But this man, he puts that the same thing as I said, that this lady was so modest, so pure, that people of the era of ignorance had given her the title of Sayyidatun Nisa'il Quraysh, lady of the women of Quraysh. Now this is pre-Islam era now. During her, let's say, live segment with Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. I want to be brief. I don't want to stretch it to all 45 minutes. I'll try to stay less than 40, maybe 30, 35 minutes. I know it's a working day, but bear with me. I'll be a bit fast. I'll wrap up fast. You have that much money. You have that many resources. Access to about anything you like. But you are zahida in that situation. That has value. This is why Rasulullah used to mention her so much. That one of the wives, she mentions two elements. Ma ghirtu ala mar'ati Rasulillah. I never felt so much jealousy. One of the wives, al-Mu'mineen, says, I was never so jealous about wives of Rasulullah, especially Khadija. Why? Because Rasulullah will start mentioning لِكَثْرَةِ رَسُولِ اللَّهِ إِيَّاهَا. Because Rasulullah will start talking and talking and talking about Bibi Khadija salamullahi alayha. And I used to get tired of it. And she used to cut him off sometimes. It's in Bukhari and all the other Sunni sources. Why are you mentioning? She was an elderly lady, astaghfirullah, to humiliate her. And Rasulullah will get angry. As per many rawayat, the sweat, the drops of sweat, pasine ke qatre will break on the holy face of Rasulullah due to dislikement. That, how dare you, kaifa qulti? How dare you say that about Bibi Khadija? So number one, because Rasulullah used to mention a lot, then wa thana'ihi alayha. He will non-stop praise Bibi Khadija salamullahi alayha. I went the opposite. Why? Question is, Rasulullah is commanded in the Quran, Surah Ashura, وَأُمِرْتُ لِأَعْدِلَ بَيْنَكُمْ. I have been commanded by Allah to do adl with you, to do justice. Now, Bibi Khadija must be treated with justice. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was invited by Bibi Khadija, take my money. She was a trader lady. Look, this is another beautiful aspect of Islam. Islam never bars anyone from having or pursuing their career and having a family life. And that is what I'm going to take you after mentioning a bit about Bibi Khadija. Islam never hinders anyone to pursue a career regardless of being a man or woman, but puts some criterion there. How a man's work should be, how a lady's work should be. There's no to ladies' work in Islam. Sayyidatun Nisaya Ahli Jannah used to work from home with the permission of Rasulullah, with the permission of Imam Ali. You know the famous story of her spinning the cotton. We know that. And then working at home, matchless. One day, the God's messenger enters the home and he sees her holy daughter grinding grain with the handmill. in her hands, they have all the injuries. You know how the calluses are produced. I'm not going to go into the details. Looking at the state, that condition of Bibi Fatima, Rasulullah starts crying. Tears start rolling on his cheek. These are the natural and genuine tests of life. Allah has created him a life with these tests. Everyone must go through them. This is the biggest lesson, if I can derive from the seerah of Rasulullah and Bibi Khadija and Bibi Fatima. Rasulullah cries and makes a comment. He says, my beloved daughter, taste the mararatul hayatid dunya, the bitterness of the life of this world, taste it. It's very short. It's temporary. After that, you will have eternal bliss of Allah Jalla Sha'an. You will have lasting of anything you like near Allah Jalla Sha'an. Now quickly, I wanted to mention how the marriage of Mubarak, marriage of Bibi Khadija Rasulullah, she gave some money to Rasulullah, go for trade. And the first country Rasulullah traveled, city rather, was Sham. He traveled there. The slave Bibi Khadija appointed with him was Maysara, a very learned man, an intellectual person. And the command was, watch him closely, because Bibi Khadija knew Rasulullah. They were from the same family, same clan, Quraysh and Bani Hashim. You know, on the third, in their genealogical way, Khadija bint Khuwailid bin Asad. We know Bibi Fatima bint Asad, salamullahi alayha, holy mother of Imam Ali alayhi salam. They're all from Bani Hashim. They're related to one another. They know one another. And especially those days, even today, but those days, people knew every single detail about people. So, Bibi Khadija wanted to test Rasulullah, that is he the promised apostle? Because she had the news she was a practicing follower of Deen Hanif, the upright religion of Hazrat Ibrahim Khalilur Rahman salawatullahi wa salamuhu alayhi. Maysara, watch him, how he does, how he eats, how he sleeps. She knew the attributes of prophets. Maysara comes back, he says, whenever we ate with Rasulullah, he mentions the holy name of him, whenever we ate with Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. We will eat many men, but food will remain the same. Nothing will be reduced from the food. And whenever we will walk during the day in form of our caravan, there will be a cloud covering wherever Rasulullah goes to protect him from the burning sun. And he mentions many other mu'jizat, including that whichever tree he passed by, that tree bowed towards him and said, Assalamu alayka ya Rasulallah, with eloquent Arabic language. Any stone he passed by, this is Maysara, slave of Bibi Khadija, reporting to her after the arrival of the caravan back to Mecca, that these mu'jizat Bibi was waiting for. Anyways, she proposes Rasulullah, he goes and seeks the counsel of Hazrat Abu Talib alayhi salam. And he says, yeah, sure, go ahead. She is the most noble and most sought after lady, of course, among Quraysh and non-Quraysh. So go ahead. He gives approval, and he is the one who recites khutbah nikah. A little scholarly mockery. People who doubt the iman of Abu Talib alayhi salam, they all of them reported that the khutbah nikah of Rasul Rabbil Alameen was recited by Hazrat Abu Talib alayhi salam. Rasulullah is a prophet. He himself said, and Fariqain quoted, An-Nabiyyu Nabiyyun, Walau kana fil mahdi sabiya. Nabi is a Nabi, a prophet is a prophet, even if he is a baby in a cradle. So at the age of 25, Rasulullah was a prophet. And if I go back to Tirmidhi, just to underpin the idea, he was questioned, Ya Rasulallah, Mata kutibta nabiyan, when were you declared a Nabi? He said, Kuntu nabiyan wa Adamu baina ruhi wal jasad. I was even Nabi When I was sitting there watching when Adam was being created. So at Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. So at the age of 25, is he not the Rasul? Is he not the Apostle? Na'udhu billah, just to make it easy to understand. If na'udhu billah, there was some doubt in the iman of Abu Talib alayhi salam, Rasulullah should have stopped. No uncle, I don't want my khutbah nikah from you. He is a Nabi. This is known as sunnat, form of taqreer. If something is done in front of Rasulullah and he does not stop it, that means it is okay to do it. Anyways, challenges came. This lady, as I was mentioning, people will mock Rasulullah. They will stone him sometimes to injure his holy body. He will come, especially his legs covered in blood. He's tired, his heart is broken. But as soon as he will see Bibi Khadija salamullahi alayha, he will forget all his suffering, his sorrow, his pains. Bibi was such a sport, such a loyal wife. And this is in a hadith. One of the obligatory part of wives is to be a comfort for husband. And likewise, for husbands to be a comfort for their wives. I mean, this should not be any way torturing them. This should not be a pain for them in our language nowadays. This should be a help, a support. And what is the least? To be, in such a way that if somebody, as Rawaya says, I quoted, that when you see somebody, you feel comfort. Not that, oh no, I don't, oh no, not again. This should not be the impression. I could not open it more. Bibi spent all her wealth. I want to switch to my message of the day with a beautiful story. All of her wealth she spent for Islam and Rasulullah. And after the hijrah of some of the Muslimin to Abyssinia, the atmosphere in holy Makkah became very intense for the remaining Muslims. So Quraysh, they came up with the idea of boycotting Bani Hashim. You either hand over Rasulullah to us so we may kill him, or the boycott. And one of the provision was, we won't marry in your tribe with Bani Hashim. We won't trade anything with you. No food, no water, nothing. So with the counsel of Hazrat Abu Talib alayhi salam, Rasulullah is compelled to move to the valley of Abu Talib alayhi salam, Sha'bi Abi Talib. 3 years. Everything which remained with Bibi Khadija, she spent there in those 3 years. Now, in last moments, she's left up with nothing. And due to thirst and hunger and hardships of open sun, she is gone really weak now. This is where I want to take my point, the lesson of the day today. She had a very affluent, dominant family. Her clan was still very well respected. They were the chiefs of Quraysh. She had the choice to go. Now, again, this is to explain, how would one who is more attached towards madda, material, they will think. She could have gone with her family. Rasulullah, this is your mission, I sacrificed so much, I gave all of my money. Now I can't go with you. She had the choice. But she did not go that way. She did not choose to go with her family and live in comfort. She preferred and chose to join Rasulullah, her husband, to go through the hardships in Sha'bi Abi Talib and see her death there. If I think today, I mentioned generally in a very generic way, and I'm going to be generic today. Many people, they seek my counsel for their matrimonial issues, for their married life. Now remember, married life is a complex package. It's a package. You yourself are there, your wife, your spouse is there, your kids are there, your house is there. Sharia law is there to be followed and fulfill its provisions. Local law is there. We are bound, you have to go for your child custody laws, property division or division of property, legal issues. You have to bear the legal cost, especially, God forbid, if somebody is looking for divorce. Now, why all this? Because honestly, lately I had like many people, they have strange issues. And many, I would say, go back to materialism. Challenge number one, both parents are working. Maulana, I put in so much. The other ones, the better half's input is less than me. They are more selfish than I am. They are hiding money from me. They have a separate bank account. And I don't want to give more details in this regard, but a natural and inevitable challenge that both parents have to work in today's society in this part of the world. Almost everyone, especially in this high inflation, the high, interest rates are so high. Rents are so high. Cost of living in Canada in recent years has skyrocketed. About 10, 12, 15 years ago, it was not this costly to live in Canada. And as I gave you one of the researchers, report from, I guess, I'm forgetting, was it from Revenue Canada or the legal immigration, somewhere to do with it, I don't remember exactly. They are saying that most of the people are going back from Canada because they can't afford to live in here. This is true. You have the challenge. But remember, in early days, still our elders, they're happily married. They had kids, and they had more kids than you have today. Let's say if I can give you an analysis or in a form of advantages and disadvantages, joint family system. What is the power of joint family system? You have multiple caretakers at home, free of charge. You don't need to drop your kids at daycare center. The care providers at home in a form of, let's say, joint family, an elder, let's say, brother, a sister, a grandmother, a grandfather, or both of them, an aunt, an uncle. In early days, as it was the fashion. Today, we're like pretty much into nuclear families. Just a couple, just these two. And then for the early years, they decide we don't want to have any children in beginning for 10 years. We want to have a better career first. That has its own devastating impact. That may be some other day. But advantages, free caregivers, and not only caregivers, compassionate caregivers were there for free. Urdu mein muhavra nahi hai, nani ka doodh yaad aa jana. Because mostly the nani was at home, grandmother. And maternal grandmother is nani in Urdu for non-Urdu people. Mother-e-Buzurg, right? They loved their kids and they provided care free of cost. And you were assured that they were not only caregivers, they were also educators. And they were perfect role models, exemplars. They raised your parents. They are filled with so much experience. They know how to raise you. And many other advantages. Now let's go for the disadvantageous side. Kids are left alone. They are deprived of the kindness of parents. Most of their time they're alone. That will do what? Another human nature. They will become emotionless. Or they're prone to become emotionless. Unke jazbaat mar jate hain. They will be having a lots of gap between parents and kids. And as they grow older, this gap widens. That will develop another thing. That is what? I don't care about you. What did you do to me? What did you do for me? There's no sacrifice I see from you. You were selfish. These maybe are not articulated by mouth, but they go through their heads. They're intelligent. Rather, I will say, my kids are more intelligent than when I was a kid like them. Because they have access to so much information. I didn't have that much access when I was 10, 15. Please have a salawat. It's all good. It's all good. وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم. Another challenge is kids are prone to addiction of games. There's no one to say no to them. No one to say it's food time. They will keep on playing their games or watching movies, or God forbid even other online, what I say, वो बीमारियों को क्या कहें? I don't want to say disease. Disease is not the correct word. But these online challenges, if I can say, for a kid, I'm not speaking about adults. A kid left alone at home, he will be restless, or she will be restless because, again, parents are absent. You know how behavioral impact just this alone attribute will have on kids? Their tender, their naive brains, their bodies. Emotional disorder is very common. Why are people having or going through so much stress today? Did we ever think? I have 3 kids. My father, mashallah, may Allah bless him, had 8 kids. And he used to sleep like a king, no worries. Did we ever think, why was that? Our mother. I mean, honestly, I think today, to cook for 8 kids, how much effort that needs? Yes, it was gradual, not at once there were 8 of us. But it's continuous struggle. You're always taken away, you're engaged, you're busy. You have no personal time. Honestly, that's the truth. So did Bibi Khadija, so was Bibi Fatima. No personal time. No personal time. They're always busy. No, this is the challenge. This is now the challenge of the day on both sides, men and ladies. There are some people, like, one will call me, Maulana, Amen. Maulana, I have hallucinations. I see things. I hear voices. Okay. Do you work, brother? No, I have stopped working. Okay. How do you run your family? My wife works. Okay. What does she do? Roughly, she's good. Okay. And you see jinn. Yeah. You know what is the jinn? My perception, I hope every man understand it. Your jinn is bekari. Your jinn is to take advantage of your wife. You don't want to work. You want to just sit home being a couch potato, watch movies and enjoy life. This is haram in Islam. Not allowed. And the opposite likewise. This could be like both ladies and gents. My point is just to raise one point in your mind. Bibi Khadija could have the best life she wanted. She had the money, she had everything. She had 400 slaves at the time of marriage. Gradually they all disappeared, freed in way of Islam, served Rasulullah, served Islam, sold, gave to Rasulullah. Everything disappeared, in brief. For what? To achieve what? If somebody questions today, my career. Today, na'udhu billah, yes, flip the coin. If she was to think selfish, na'udhu billah min dhalik, just to explain it, that why should I give my money to Rasulullah? Number one, today is the criteria. Why should I marry this person who has no money? We have to unlearn and then relearn from Ahle Bayt. That is the purpose. This is what Bibi Khadija did. She didn't think I'm rich, I have the money, I'm the one who is the trader, I'm the one who is the boss. No, she saw the miracles in Rasulullah. He is the prophet of God. She was looking forward to Allah Jalla Shanu's pleasure. That's why Rasulullah one day puts 4 lines on the ground, questions companions sitting around him. What are these lines, do you know? They said, no, Allahu a'lamu wa rasuluh. Allah and God's messenger know better. He said these are the 4 women in the paradise. They are the topmost in ranks. The number 1 woman he mentions is Bibi Khadijatul Kubra salamullahi alayha. Have a salawat on her. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farajahum. Why was that? When it comes to the hardships of life, it's very easy to break up. It's very easy to walk away. But it takes iman, modesty, accepting the challenge of this life, qurbatan ilallah, accepting the wahdaniyah of Allah, accepting the commands of Rasulullah, accepting the challenge to obey and follow the seerah of Bibi Fatima and Bibi Khadija Kubra, accepting the challenge of kids, accepting all these challenges and fulfill them accordingly. This is what it is about. It is so easy to walk away. I'll finish with a beautiful hadith, which is maybe a little irrelevant, but exactly nails it down. Shaitan was one day very sad. Iblis Buzurg, that chief shaitan, big shaitan. He's sitting. All the kid shaitans are surrounding him and say, Boss, Baba, Father, why are you so sad? Say something. You have not spoken in hours. What are you thinking? He says, I'm rethinking, replanning. How are we doing to stray the children of Adam? And I think we are, failing. I need 3 volunteers who can go and inflict the most devastating action on Bani Adam. 3, the worst shayateen, they came close. Baba will take this challenge. Please don't worry. We'll go and do something that these children of Adam, you will be happy. We'll make you happy. They leave. After some time, they come back. The first one, he mentions, I did this atrocity. Shaitan says, no, this is no good. Other one says, he says, no, I'm cutting it short. I want to go for the final third one. The third one said, Baba, I didn't do something special. He says, no, report me, what did you do? He said, there were a wife and husband, they had a minor dispute. I put the waswasa, the temptation, in wife's head and then on the husband's head. And I made them fight. And they broke. And I think this is nothing. Shaitan said, no! This is the best action I want from all of you to do. The shayateen said, Baba, why is that? These two are just husband and wife. I mean, these two, they broke up, so what? There are so many other there. He says, no. Look how shaitan interprets the fight or breaking of a family. He says, this wife and this man, now they are prone to adultery. Wife is alone, she will go and commit adultery separately. Husband is separate, alone, he's also going to go commit adultery. This is what I want. Because when there is zina in a society, the whole modesty falls down. And they are degraded and the barakah of Allah is removed from there. And any sin you name, they will commit then. Because they will have unfair children. Najaiz awlad hogi. This is the conclusion of shaitan. Or jaisa ki aajkal, as I say normally, as I have come so far, so I say this line in English. Today, the first thing I say to families who are seeking for divorce or separation, think of your children. You have lived your life, but this is the beginning of their life. Anybody's fault, but you are their true parents. If mother takes kids, they are going to be deprived of the kindness of father and that caring eye and protection of father. Father is different than mothers, with due respect. Mothers, they have their role in Islam and family. Fathers, they have their role. As you know, in old wisdom it says, father is like the roof of a house. Mother is the foundation of the house. Both are required. You cannot say that I am alone sufficient. I can do it. Yes, you can do it. But the party who suffers is the kids. Think of their emotions. Think of their tarbiyah. Think of their future. Go and Google 3 titles. Impact of both parents working on kids. You will find over 1 million articles. Effects of parents working. Effects of a nuclear family. Effects or impacts of single parenting. You will find the information, all of them, they will come to at least 2 points common. Kids, they have no career. I challenge you, go read it. Read these articles. Google this information. So my point is, kids, they suffer because they have seen so much disturbance in life. Their tender soul is disturbed. They cannot focus in life. You have differences, anybody can have. Go outside of the home. Don't argue in front of your kids. Please respect them. Don't ignore them. Oh, ye to bacche hain, inhe kya pata hai? You may forget, but these kids will never forget. They have a blank slate. Their memory is 10,000 times sharper than you. अजीज़ों, जब आखिरी वक्त आया बीबी खदीजा का सारा मालो दौलत मता अल्लाह के रसूल पर निसार कर दिया शहज़ादी ने। शहज़ादी की हया का ये आलम है। 25 साल इज़्दिवाजी ज़िंदगी जनाब रसालत माब के साथ गुजारी है। जब आखिरी वसीयत का वक्त आया तो बीबी इतनी मलिकातुल अरब, जाहिली कुफ़ार ने उन्हें लक़ब दिया था, हक्का लक़ब दिया था। ये बीबी सवाल नहीं कर सकें रसूल खुदा से। कहा या रसूल अल्लाह, मुझे मुआफ़ कर दीजिए, मैंने आपके हक़ में शायद कोताही की हो। नबी अकरम ने फ़ौरन फरमाया, नहीं बीबी, आपने मेरे हक़ में कभी कोताही नहीं की, बल्कि बिलक्स आपने अपना सारा माल और अपनी दाराई अल्लाह की राह में मेरे इख्तियार में करार दिया। जब लोगों ने मेरी तकज़ीब की, आपने मेरी तस्दीक की कि आप अल्लाह के सच्चे रसूल हैं। नबी अकरम ने बड़े फ़ज़ाइल गिनवाए जनाब सैयदा के। उनको तसल्ली देने के लिए नबी अकरम ने यहाँ तक फरमाया कि आपको पता है खदीजा, यह रहमतल लिल आलमीन। आपको पता है कि जन्नत में अल्लाह ने आपकी मेरे साथ तजवीज़ कर दिया है। अब मेरी बीवी रहेंगी जन्नत में भी, ताकि बीबी को हौसला रहे, आखिर लहज़ात में उन्हें तकलीफ़ ना हो। बीबी ने एक वसीयत की कि रसूल खुदा भी हिल गए। या रसूल अल्लाह, जनाब सैयदा पास खड़ी थी, मैं अपनी बेटी के लिए आपसे वसीयत करना चाहती हूँ। फरमाया, बीबी कहिए, क्या कहना चाहती हैं आप? कहा, या रसूल अल्लाह, जब से मैंने आपके साथ शादी की है, वो ख़वातीन जो मुझसे मिलने के लिए तरसती थीं, वो मुझे सलाम करना अब गवारा नहीं करती। मबादा उनका हसद मेरी बेटी के साथ पेश आए। या रसूल अल्लाह, देखिए कोई मेरी बेटी को कभी झिड़की ना देने पाए। या रसूल अल्लाह, मुझे माफ़ कर दीजिएगा, कभी को मेरी बेटी के रुखसार पर तमाचा ना लग पाए। पता नहीं बीबी खदीजा को कैसे खबर थी कि मेरी बेटी को तमाचा लग जाएगा। अज़ादारो, जनाब खदीजा ने कहा, या रसूल अल्लाह, मेरी तीसरी वसीयत, मुझे आपसे शर्म आती है कि मैं आपसे कहूँ, वो मैं अपनी बेटी फ़ातिमा से कह दूँगी, वो आपसे कह देंगी। अजीज़ और रसूल खुदा का अखलाक, रसूल खुदा उठकर बाहर चले गए। जनाब खदीजा ने बीबी फ़ातिमा को अपने सीने से लगाया और फरमाया, नूरे नज़र, अपने बाबा से कहिए कि जब आप पर वही नाज़िल होती थी तो जो लिबास आपने पहन रखा होता था, उस लिबास का मुझे कफन पहना दे। अज़ादारो, जनाब फ़ातिमा बाहर तशरीफ़ लाई, आकर मादर गरामी की वसीयत पहुँचाई बाबा तक। रसूल खुदा ने फ़ौरन अपना वो लिबास जनाब खदीजा के लिए पहुँचाया। अजीज़ों, खुद तकफ़ीन और तजहीज़ का आपने ज़िम्मा उठाया। जनाब रसालत माब अभी बढ़ने लगे थे कि पीछे से आहट महसूस हुई। जनाब जिब्राइल तशरीफ़ लाए। कहा, या रसूल अल्लाह, खुदावंदे क़हार आपको सलाम कहता है और फरमाता है कि खदीजा ने अपना तमाम मालो मता हमारी राह में कुर्बान कर दिया। खदीजा का कफन हम जन्नत से खदीजा के लिए लेकर आए। अजीज़ों, आपको पता है कि जन्नत का कफन आना एक बहुत बड़ी नवीद और खुशखबरी है, लेकिन हम अहले बैत के मानने वाले फिर भी रोते हैं। भला क्यों रोते हैं? रोते इसलिए हैं कि इसी बीबी का दिया हुआ माल, जिसका 20% खुम्स सादात का हक है, इमाम हुसैन करबल के मैदान में बिना कफन बिना लिबास के छोड़ दिए गए। मलाइन अपने मलूनों के लाशें उठा कर ले गए, लेकिन अजीजों, इमाम हुसैन के लिए 2 पार्चे का कफन, जिसकी नानी का कफन जन्नत से आया, 3 दिन तक बिना कफन के जसद इमाम हुसैन करबला में पड़ा। अला लानतुल्लाहि अलल कौमिज़ ज़ालिमीन व सयअलमुल्लज़ीना ज़लमू अय्या मुनक़लबिन यनक़लिबून। परवरदिगारा, हमारी माँ बहनों को जनाब खदीजतुल कुबरा की सीरत की पैरवी करने में कामयाब फरमा। बहक़ मोहम्मद व आले मोहम्मद हमारे फैमिली सिस्टम को पाबरजा रख। बहक़ मोहम्मद व आले मोहम्मद हमारे माँ बहनों, हमारे भाइयों की शादियों में शैतान को दाखिला होने से ममनू फरमा। हमारे इमाम के ज़हूर में ताजील फरमा। अल्लाहुम्मा अज्जिल वलियकल फ़रज वजअलना मिन आवानिही व अंसारिही व अस्हाबिही मातम हुसैन। या हुसैन, या हुसैन, या हुसैन, या हुसैन, या हुसैन,
या हुसैन, या हुसैन, या हुसैन, या हुसैन, या हुसैन, या हुसैन, या हुसैन, या हुसैन, या हुसैन, लर्ज़े में सतूने काबा है, लर्ज़े में सतूने काबा है, दुनिया से खदीजा जाती हैं, लर्ज़े में सतूने काबा है, लर्ज़े में सतूने काबा है, दुनिया से खदीजा जाती हैं, लर्ज़े में सतूने काबा है, इस्लाम के लब पर नोहा है, इस्लाम के लब पर नोहा है, इस्लाम के लब पर नोहा है, दुनिया से खदीजा जाती हैं, लर्ज़े में सतूने काबा है, दुनिया से खदीजा जाती हैं, लर्ज़े में सतूने काबा है, सुने हुजरे सुना आंगन, सुने हुजरे सुना आंगन, ममता को तड़पता है बचपन, ममता को तड़पता है बचपन, ज़हरा को बड़ा ये सदमा है, ज़हरा को बड़ा ये सदमा है, दुनिया से खदीजा जाती हैं, लर्ज़े में सतूने काबा है, दुनिया से खदीजा जाती हैं, लर्ज़े में सतूने काबा है, सदमे से नबी जान खोते हैं, सदमे से नबी जान खोते हैं, दिल थामे अली भी रोते हैं, दिल थामे अली भी रोते हैं, हर सिमत क़यामत है बरपा, हर सिमत क़यामत है बरपा, दुनिया से खदीजा जाती हैं, लर्ज़े में सतूने काबा है, दुनिया से खदीजा जाती हैं, लर्ज़े में सतूने काबा है, आई है मुसीबत मुसीबत कुछ ऐसी,
आई है मुसीबत कुछ ऐसी,
रोते हैं फरिश्ते और कुदसी,
रोते हैं फरिश्ते और कुदसी,
जिब्रील के लब पर नाला है, जिब्रील के लब पर नाला है, दुनिया से खदीजा जाती है, लर्ज़े मिस्तूने काबा है, दुनिया से खदीजा जाती है, लर्ज़े मिस्तूने काबा है। हाँ छूटी रहमत की रहमत,
हाँ छूटी रहमत की रहमत,
और जैसे छुटी रब की नेमत,
और जैसे छुटी रब की नेमत,
कुरान का जिधर भी पारा है, कुरान का जिधर भी पारा है, दुनिया से खदीजा जाती हैं, लर्ज़े
मिस्तूने काबा है,
दुनिया से खदीजा जाती हैं, लर्ज़े
मिस्तूने काबा है।
था आब नमक बीबी से मगर,
था आब नमक बीबी से मगर,
रुलवाती थी उम्मत शाम व सहर,
रुलवाती थी उम्मत शाम व सहर,
ऐसा का ये बदला पाया है, ऐसा का ये बदला पाया है, दुनिया से खदीजा जाती हैं, लर्ज़े मिस्तूने काबा है, दुनिया से खदीजा जाती हैं, लर्ज़े मिस्तूने काबा है। अदनान जो नोहा पढ़ता है,
अदनान जो नोहा पढ़ता है,
हामिद का ये आंसू गोया है,
हामिद का ये आंसू गोया है,
आंसू से कलम ने लिखा है, आंसू से कलम ने लिखा है, दुनिया से खदीजा जाती हैं, लर्ज़े
मिस्तूने काबा है,
दुनिया से खदीजा जाती हैं, लर्ज़े मिस्तूने काबा है, लर्ज़े मिस्तूने काबा है। या हुसैन, या हुसैन,
अस्सलामु अलैका या रसूल अल्लाह, अस्सलामु अलैका या अमीर अल-मुमिनीन, अस्सलामु अलैका या खदीजतल कुबरा उम्मुल मुमिनीन, अस्सलामु अलैका या फातिमतुज़ ज़हरा सय्यदतुन निसाइल आलमीन, अस्सलामु अलल हसन वल हुसैन व अला अली इब्न अल हुसैन व मुहम्मद इब्न अली व जाफ़र इब्न मुहम्मद व मूसा इब्न जाफ़र व अली इब्न मूसा व मुहम्मद इब्न अली व अली इब्न मुहम्मद वल हसन इब्न अली वल खलफ़ अस्सालिह अल महदी। अल्लाहुम्मा अज्जिल लिवलिय्यिकल फ़रज वल आफ़ियत वन नस्र वजअलना मिन खैरि अवानी व अंसारिह। अल्लाहुम्मा कुन लिवलिय्यिकल हुज्जत इब्न अल हसन सलवातुक अलैहि व अला आबाइहि फी हाज़िहि अस्साअ व फी कुल्लि साअ वलिय्यन व हाफ़िज़ा व क़ाइदन व नासिरा व दलीलन व अयना हत्ता तुस्किनहु अर्ज़का तवआ व तुमत्तिअहु फ़ीहा तवीला बिरहमतिक या अरहमर राहिमीन। अल फ़ातिहा मअस सलावात।